H on the track, boys.
Nueva York. Apparently, somebody did not tell me
Nueva
that we were.
York.
Apparently, somebody didn't tell me we were doing Bad Bunny tonight. Apparently, thanks, Adolfo. Appreciate it.
Hey, yeah. Gotta anger the white folks somehow. Super Bowl halftime. Anyway, let's go.
I mean, my existence does that enough. But anywho,
right, just showing up, baby.
At least we do. Anyways, hello. Hola, bienvenidos, buenos dias, buenas noches, buenas tardes, wherever you're watching this in the world, because apparently we have some international folks who watch us too. But welcome to another episode of Los Lobos de la Lucha, your CMLL review show here at BC WrestlePod Networking Conglomeration Syndicate Thingamabob streaming site that we do every single day, except for most Thursdays. But tomorrow, there will be one. There's a lot going down. I feel like the last 2 weeks, just like, we're normal, and now we're just ramping it back up because there's so much stuff this week. But I'm excited for all of it. I am El Jefe at BC WrestlePod, Mikey. I run the ones and twos. I run the sites and everything. I do everything. But maybe I shouldn't, but it's okay. We're all mad here, and you have to have a couple of screws loose in order to be part of this BC WrestlePod casting network. We all go mad down here.
Perfect timing for your video to do that.
But of course, I cannot do this with 3 co-hosts. Yes. Be like, I have 3 co-hosts for this, 2 on screen, and then our 4th virtual one, who we're going to get into in a little bit. But of course, coming all the way from the islands of Puerto Rico, who just came from a Bad Bunny concert, apparently, is the nerdy Puerto Rican. Apparently, you and El Butador had a fight, so you're here now.
Yeah, well, hey, I gotta force the riffraff out somehow. Buenos, mi gente, primo. Good to see you out there. Bienvenidos a todos. Let's talk some lucha. Let's do it.
Absolutely. And then, of course, rounding out our on-screen trifecta trio, sandwiched in between the two of us is Papa Oso, who, loves that more than anything, apparently. So we have
Yeah.
me and Adolfo are the spice, and then we have, our regular, but he is one of us.
More glitchiness. I love it.
Yes.
I was gonna say, where's our slacker? El Buntador Jr., where's he at these days?
Oh, he's
What a
probably in some
slacker.
gutter somewhere.
Slacker, boozing it up somewhere.
Slacker.
Also, it's like one of us sounds like we're talking through our beard.
What?
And the surprising one, it's not anybody with a beard.
So funny.
Everything was working well, and then it wasn't. But hey, it wouldn't be a BC Wrestle Pod review without some sort of stuff happening all over the place. But of course, joining us this evening, as always, virtually on the ones and twos, and our unofficial fourth co-host is Agent Lo-Fi, who we love dearly. It's nice to see the technical Adolfo get the booking tonight, which we love.
Gracias.
We're always great, honestly. But before we get into it, because we got some fun action to cover for CMLL Viernes Espectacular, let's go through the announcements really quickly. If you like what you see here and you want more of it, you can subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Twitch or Kick, whatever your preferred platform is for video watching / video consumption. And if that is your jam, or if not, and you want to follow us more for all the other stuff, you can follow us on social medias at BC WrestlePod. We're pretty much anywhere and everywhere at this point. So follow us there. You get our report cards. You get all the fun stuff. It's a great time. We also have some merchandise available to you at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. Link in the description of this video below, as well as in the chat of everywhere that we're streaming to. It is fantastic. It is fun. A lot of our collections that we have are tied to charities, so check out the shop and read the description of those collections to figure out where part of the proceeds are going to go to. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So with that out of the way, let's get into why we're really here to talk about Lucha.
Because that's Amazonas continues.
Let's go. And the saga continues. So we are going to be reviewing this past Friday's Viernes Espectacular, which was the Friday the 10th? Yeah, Friday the 10th. Yep. I can tell time and date sometimes. So we got a lot to cover. So let's just jump into it. We kicked Viernes Espectacular off with a tag team match, our opening match as always. I'm just going to take a moment. I'm just like, yes, I love this team on the left.
Yes. Fuego and Dulce Gardenia. Yeah.
First of all, Dulce, those colors in your outfit, on point.
Right.
Fuego, you have the best fringe game. Don't care, fight me.
Leave it to Dulce, right? Leave it to Dulce, where CMLL is just like, all right, everyone, all right, all male presenting luchadors, you need to wear a pink ribbon because it's Las Amazonas. Dulce was like, F that. Comes out like, with the pink ribbon on his gear. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so good. But again, this is the tag team match. So Fuego and Dulce Gardenia taking on Dark Magic and El Gallero. Yes, Agent Lo-Fi. Dulce and Fuego are such a good combo.
Yeah.
They are the most colorful tag team in CMLL, and I'm here for it.
They work really well together.
Mm-hmm. I was
really
just like,
well together.
So good. This was just fun all around. Again, Fuego and Dulce are just amazing. I love that Dulce is, at least to my knowledge, is one of the only, actually, I think is the only true, like, quasi exotico that we have at CMLL right now, or at least is underneath that umbrella of types of luchadors, which I'm okay with and we love. I had a blast with this one. This was a fun tag team match. I was a little sad that our colorful boys didn't pick up the win here, but you know what? They put on one hell of a show, and I was entertained. Adolfo, I'm gonna come to you first. What did you think of this opening bout?
So yeah, Fuego Dulce Gardenia. They worked really well together as a tag team. We had Dark Magic and El Gallero, who are part of that stable. They were your Rulos in this match. Also of note, Dark Magic sporting some new ring gear, not the American flag gear that we know that he normally wears. So that was interesting to see. The match itself was, I felt, a good beginning match. It set the pace. We had a lot of great spots. I don't want to say that Fuego and Dulce Gardenia have they have matching energies, but I feel that's kind of like a bit of a misnomer, right? Because Fuego is Fuego. You know what I mean, right? And then Dulce
Dinner
comes
and a
out,
show.
and he's
All right,
energetic
I'm here
too,
for that.
but he's Dulce Gardenia, you know what I mean? But it works. Yeah, it worked so well together. They did a whole butt rubbing dance thing. It was good. It was a good match. The Rulos do end up with a clean win, which was good to see. But yeah.
I love it. It's great. Papa, also, same question to you. How did you feel about this opener?
I loved it. Of course, anytime we get to see Dulce is a win. And Fuego as well. And I love these two, and I agree with everyone who's already talked about them. I could say the same things. But, Adolfo, the funny thing about it is Fuego is unintentional camp. Dulce is intentional camp.
Yes.
So, and that's why they complement each other so well, is they're both campy, but Dulce is intentionally campy.
Yep.
Fuego is unintentionally. He's campy, but that's not his shtick.
Yes.
And that's why I think that they work so well together. They look really good together because of that. And then in hand with that, they work well together. So, but no, I really like this opening match. I thought it was fun. It was super fun. I'm bummed, but that's okay.
I love
Let
it.
the man dance.
Fuego
Exactly.
just wants to dance,
Let
man.
the man dance.
Let the man dance. How dare y'all?
Exactly.
So this is interesting too. A year or two ago, Dulce and another exotico, La Facion, rules by the way, won the Guadalajara tag belts until La Facion left the company. No, we need more exoticos in Lucha Libre. I love them so much. It was a dark cloud because I was just like Fuego and Dulce lost, but I was entertained though. This was a fun way to open up the show. And while I was a little bit sad, I will say from the second match onwards, it was just nonstop, and I was like, so I was just like, so let's talk about that first moment, right? So I'm just like going like this whole, I'm like, okay. So first of all, I just want to say, Olympia, that outfit, ma'am, I was just like, I think I'm in love. I was just like, she came out like a full Greek goddess, and I was just like, Listen, anytime you can put mythological things into your wrestling gear, you're gonna pop the history boner in me. We're far enough in, I can start saying words.
I'm telling you, in the year of the Lord 2026, we need to have a Megan Bain Olympia either match up or match against.
There can only be one Greek goddess.
No, and they don't even need to wrestle. They just need to pose off against each other. You know what I mean?
For reals. They're like muscle mommies for life. Anyway, speaking of muscle mommies, that's exactly what this match was. It was hard hitting and full of muscle madres. Because we get this relevo sencillo de Amazonas, so a dos de tres caídas, 2 out of 3 falls. And this was the team of La Catalina and India Suhi taking on, our girl Persephone and the Greek goddess herself, Olympia. I was like, yes, ma'am, all white, loved it. I will say this match had my favorite meme, especially when we had Persephone and La Catalina out on the outside, and Persephone is standing on top of La Catalina, grabbing her face and just twisting her head like a la horror movie. And I'm just like, oh, Persephone, I love you so much. I'm very when we're previewing this Friday, I was like, I'm very excited because it should be fun this Friday. But yeah, again, this was another match that I really enjoyed. I don't know if the Amazonas were given a memo, be like, hey, y'all just go out there. Just fight. And I'm like, okay. So that's exactly what they did. A lot, again, more Amazonas action. This was fun. We get nice back and forth, but not surprised, but kind of surprised. India and La Catalina pick up the win over Persephone and Olympia. But I'm like, well, I mean, my wrestling brain, which shouldn't work here because I'm thinking Western and not Arena Mexico booking. But India's got her match this Friday for the Universal Amazonas title. So I'm like, yeah, she kind of needs to win here, but not really. This was fun. I had a good time. Was it my favorite? Not necessarily, but it was a decent match. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna switch things up. Papa Oso, I'm gonna come to you as the president of the Amazona Club. What did you think of our women?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I mean, I don't think it was stellar, but I mean, it was still the Amazonas, which is already 1,000%. So, but I loved it because and I love all 4 of these women, and it was neat to watch them go. And of course, Olympia out there just destroying everybody, and my girl Persephone, of course, is being Persephone.
Yep.
And in my eyes, can do no wrong. So it's like, girl, you get out there and you do your thing. So I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Excellent. And Adolfo, same question to you. What did you think?
I thought it was a good third match. It was an interesting setup. I felt you had like Catalina and India Sui, get just pummeled the first half of the match. Like, and I know that we've been propping up Olympia, and I mean she's jacked, but Persephone is a rock herself, right? And they even had a little moment where they posed where Persephone was down and goes like this, and Olympia does the bodybuilding pose. It was really cool. But the first half of the match, Persephone and Olympia's power was just really being showcased because they were tossing La Catalina and India Sui everywhere. We did have the turnaround at the end where like Catalina and India Sui, they use their teamwork and the tactics to to come back and pin Persephone and Olympia to get the win. I was what was it, the moonsault for the first fall when Olympia hit that moonsault that led to her pinning India Sui for the first pinfall. There was a ooh moment because of the way Olympia landed. It looked like she came up short, and it looked like she came up and kind of landed oddly on her head. I mean, she's one of the kids of El Valiente, so of course, she's gonna get up and just like brush it off like it was no big thing and just keep going. That was a little bit of a scary moment. But yeah, all 4 I felt of these Amazonas just looked really good. Yeah, I thought I will go against the grain. I thought it was not just a decent match. I thought it was a good match.
This is why we can't have Adolfo on the podcast. Just kidding. Like you're fired.
Yeah,
Turning
El
your
Buntador Jr. would have agreed with us.
El Puntador Segundo, the junior. Like, I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, are we turning rudo? Just kidding. Yes. Plus my imaginary pearls.
Are you growing facial hair, Mikey?
I was like,
Dark
Anyhow.
universe. Anyway.
I have dark universe. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. So I had Monday off and I forgot to shave, and I went over to my friend's house, and my friend's like, "Do you want to keep the facial hair? Because it's kind of working for you." I'm like, do I channel my inner dark universe? And then my face was itchy. I was like, never mind. I can't. I have been told that I look sexy with a beard, but I don't want to because like my face would be screaming at me every day, and I can't have that because I get too uncomfortable easily when my face is suffocating like that. Hell, I do that with my hair. Them's fighting words. We're gonna talk afterwards. I was about to say something and then I had to catch myself because we're trying to keep it PG-13. But again, La Catalina and India do pick up the win here. And yeah, so I had fun with this one. Moving on. All right, so let's talk about this one, right? So I'm like, so last week when we saw that this match was happening, I'm like, now I know Primo has told us on countless times, numerous occasions, that Mexico probably isn't too privy to all the stuff that we know about Miss Tessa Blanchard. And so when I saw her here, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to forget, but I'm going to push it aside because this is her coming back to Arena Mexico. She's having a Relampago match against Lluvia. And I was like, okay, we're going to see how this goes. I will say this. I never have an issue with Tessa's in-ring work because it's always fantastic. And I really enjoyed this match. So I will give the credit for that. Still don't like her for all the stuff that she's done, but you know what? As far as what I saw on my screen, this was the better of the two performances that I saw her this weekend. This past weekend, I'm not going to lie. This is one of the better performances. But again, this is a match Relampago, 10-minute time limit to pin or submit your opponent. Ooh, interesting. Agent Lo-Fi is like, I did not like this one. There's my controversy opinion.
Actually, I did not either.
Spicy episode of Los Lobos de Lucha.
You know what? Goodness. Well, we're far enough of it. In the words of, Jazz, in the words of Miss Kennedy Davenport, well, fuck my drag, right? Papa also just go in. Why? Like,
I just didn't like it. And normally I'm like, okay, and I don't know what it was. I agree with it. I agree with Agent Lo-Fi about it. It literally did. It felt like this should have been like, it should have been 5 minutes and done. And it felt like it just, I don't know. It just did not feel, it didn't feel right to me. And I love, don't get me wrong. And I don't know what it was. it just didn't land right with me. And which is very, very hard for me to say because it's very rare will you ever hear me say something negative about the Amazonas. But I didn't like this one.
I'm gonna say my opinion afterwards. Adolfo, I'm gonna come to you first and then I'll give my opinion. So what is your take on this Relampago match?
So I liked it. Dare I say I watched it through the lens of a Lucha fan, even though like while the match during some of like the slower points in the match, I did kind of like grab my phone and try to look up the T on Tessa, the new T I should say on Tessa Blanchard, you know her, the old T. But I will say that yeah, the crowd energy was funky. And Primo is right there in my head. The crowd energy was really weird, ever since in the last like month, 2 months, the way that Juvia has been received, where it's more ruda than technical, like she used to be, and then like with Tessa, it just it was it was a weird crowd feeling. I felt that the in ring was fine. I didn't mind it going almost the full 10. I thought that they went at it, and they hit the spots, and for um they looked really good. Didn't they used to be a tag team?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, they were tag
Right?
champs at one point.
Right? And then Tessa left and kind of left Juvia by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that was interesting. That was an interesting angle. But yeah, like other than the crowd energy for this match, like watching it, I I was fine with it. It was a good it was a match with Olympico, it and it was entertaining. So
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna give my thoughts on this. So I'm a person of two minds, right? Because I agree with Adolfo here, because the in-ring I didn't mind. It was decent. It was fine for what it was. I think my issue is, and I don't know if this is gonna make any sense. And I'm not saying that this is exactly what happened, but I feel, to me, this match felt like this was a last minute decision. Like last week, there was someone over the weekend. It's like, okay. Like the week before, it's like, Amazonas, what can we do? Oh, Tessa, you're black. You're back. You're back in here. So let's have you go out. And I'm just like, maybe this was not the match for her to come back to Mexico in. I don't know. Very true, Agent Lo-Fi.
yes,
There really wasn't a defined Ruda Technica dynamic between the two.
agreed.
So I feel like this, I was like, as far as the match goes, I thought it was decent. I feel that with you bringing Tessa back to CMLL, I feel like this was probably maybe not the right matchup to have. I don't know if you would put her up against somebody. I don't know. I'm gonna be so for real. Depending on how you wanted to make Tessa go, like maybe her versus La Catalina actually would have been a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. Not to say that this match was bad, but maybe match wise, you kind of get them working together. I don't know. I will say this was a weird moment of the show, and I'm just like, yeah, that's what I kind of figured too, because for 2 out of the 3 of us, we still got to deal with her in TNA right now. So, and we're going to talk about that on Friday. I'm trying to purge it from my memory. Anyways, but Tessa wins this Relampago match. She beats Juvia, and we move on to, well, our semi-main event, if you will. This match went on forever. Like,
Right?
I was just like, I'm like looking at my clock. I was like, we have like an hour and a half left. So I'm like, what are you about to do with my TV screen? And then when we get to our main event, I'm like, bitch, that was like 5 minutes of my life. What happened? Now, I was enthralled the whole time, but I'm like, bitch,
Yes.
this was 45 minutes. I was like, I felt like I watched a cartoon special watching this. I was just like, so, and this was just a regular level Australiano match. There was nothing, no trios championships. Yeah, I was just like, they stretched this. Listen, we're far enough in, but they stretched this bitch out. I was just like, I felt like getting everyone into the ring and then setting up the first fall took like 30 minutes. I was just like, what was with the pause? Like, what happened? And I'm kind of bringing in Agent Lo-Fi here. It's like, we could have maybe had, like, it was so weird to only have 5 matches. Like, we could have had a 6th one, because I'm so used to at least 6 on Viernes Espectacular. How do I know this? Is because I do the report cards for these all the time, every single week. And I'm used to doing 6. And the 5 was just really weird. And this was just paced really weirdly, because first fall took forever. Second fall was like really quick. And then the third one was the longest of them all. I'm like, somebody did not do the math right. Did I enjoy this match? Hell yes, I did. Because it's Sky Team. And I love also the other team of Barbaro Cavernario and Los Hermanos Chavez. But damn, did this pacing really throw me off. Bob was like, I'm not expecting every single fall to be the same amount, but somebody did not pass math class that day. It's crazy. And yeah, it's exactly what a Sky Team did Sky Team things exactly as good as you expect. And that was fine. So I was like, I know I feel like I'm bitching and complaining about it, but ultimately I had fun. This was just weirdly paced because then our main event was like only 20 minutes, which going from last week, which was a little bit longer, I was just like, damn, we stretched this one out, didn't we? Adolfo, I'm gonna come to you first. What did you think of our semi-main event?
Yeah, Sky Team did Sky Team things. Which, yeah, like you said, it might sound like we're complaining. We're not, because it's entertaining as all get up. It was nice seeing Pablo Cavernario again. I felt like I haven't seen him in a hot minute.
Since Aniversario, it seems like he's been MIA.
Yeah, I felt like Pablo was a little underutilized in this match, and the Hermano Chavez are fantastic luchadors, right? So please do not misconstrue what I'm saying. It just would have been nice to have a little bit more Barbaro. We did get him to, we did get to see his worm. We did get to see the whole who and the whole planta thing, which was awesome. But yeah, he's a better luchador. I felt like he deserved a little bit more time. Mystico, I have to go back and rewatch the Aniversario MJF Mystico match, but I felt like this match, Mystico like switched out his batteries and put some like new double A's in or something like that. Because he just felt really sharp and really like just like boom, boom, boom. All the tijeras he hit were really crisp. All of the moves he was hitting looked really sharp, and like he got some ups on that final Mystica. And I know that Angel de Oro did play a little bit into it, but like that was a really pretty Mystica that he had. Dare I say the prettiest that I've ever seen him hit that his finisher move. But that's it.
Love it. Reporting from the islands of Puerto Rico, Adolfo. I'm just kidding. And before anyone comes for me in the comments, yes, I can say these things because I am Puerto Rican as well, so bite me. Anyways.
However, if I said it.
Canceled.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I feel so okay. So this is a whole nother podcast, and I won't get too much into it. I was just like, the difference is that Will knows better, but also Adolfo and I would probably give him a pass because he's like that. Instead of that one black friend, it's that one white friend that we have, that us minorities have. We have that one white friend, and we're like, you're cool, so we're gonna give you like a one-time pass, but don't take advantage of it because then we'll fight.
Nah, Will's coming to the Quince.
Yeah, no, Will's coming to the Quince, to the baptism.
I have been to several in my life.
Yeah.
So.
I was like, they are big in Texas, so that's the other thing too. Is like he got that Tejano in him. So
yeah, he wore the gaucho outfit. I mean, come on, the dancing outfit. He told us that the other week.
I
come
know,
on.
that's what I'm saying.
I did indeed.
He's good.
It was beautiful. But anyways, Papa,
I wish I had pictures from that day.
I would love to see them. That's our that's our exclusive. We're gonna look through our old photos and then we're gonna do a share-a-thon. Like honestly, because I would love to see. Be like, what does Gaucho Will look like?
I don't know if I have any of the pictures. That was so long ago.
Yesterday,
I can look around. I'll look. It was like 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago. Be like, that's where he was. He wasn't at work. He's coming from Quince.
Exactly. But I'll definitely look for him.
He was in the court. But anyways, Papa, what did you think about this?
I liked it. It was good. I thought it was too long. It felt long. Like it wasn't didn't feel long that it didn't feel long in the fact that it was bad. It felt too long, as in these guys are all great, but what are we covering? So it's like what didn't happen that we had to extend this match so long?
Yep.
I mean, is what it felt like. I enjoyed
was like,
this match.
I was like, was one of the Amazonas late? Like, what's tea, sis? Like,
I
what's
mean,
tea?
seriously,
Right.
it literally felt like, okay, guys, we need y'all to extend this about 15, 20 minutes. It's like, oh, okay, sure, we'll do that. It's like, but I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was, you're right. Sky Team did Sky things, and yeah, it was good. It was great. It was a great match. It felt oddly long, and not like it was planned long. Like literally, like, oh God, cover for us, guys. It was like just a couple of minutes, like 20, 25, 30 is what it felt like. It just felt like maybe something was supposed to happen and
Right.
it didn't happen.
No, yeah.
I was just
And
like,
this would have been the perfect out of all of them. This match made the most sense to extend.
That is very true. At the same time, it's just like, can we make it a little bit more even upon each pinfall? Like, what is that? Anywho,
I agree.
Again, yeah, but Sky Team does win here. No surprise here. I was very entertained, and please don't misconstrue that as complaining, but damn, we really needed to clean up like how we were going to pace it. Pacing was crazy. Which leads us
really
into
quick at the end. I was really scared that Mascara Dorada was going to fall off the top post.
Oh my! He almost ate it. He almost ate it.
So weepy wobbly, and then Neon comes in and does his bounce thing. I'm like, oh, this is where we lose.
Somebody's going down.
See, this is why
it was awesome, but like, yeah.
And I think this is why it feels like it was extended, because we had those moments. I was going to mention that earlier, and I forgot to, but because we did have a lot of weird moments.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, did they extend it on purpose?
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, let's just fill in with whatever we can, what we remember." It's like that sort of thing. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just like, "Oh God, yeah."
No, it's totally valid. And yeah, when I was looking at Mascara, I was like, "Weeble wobble, but they don't fall down." I was like, "Please don't hurt yourself. You've been on a hot streak of having banging matches. Please don't hurt yourself, because we already have a pirate down." And we have a Flip Gordon down. We don't need more people down. Though I will say, I need him to be cleared because I'm ready for Clowny Boy to make his reappearance. Just check. This match went 22 minutes. I'm like, damn. Wow. I'm like, holy hell. This was paced really weird. And I was just like, okay. I still had fun though. So that's what I was going to say. Yeah, this is long for CMLL standards. And I think that's why it felt a little out of place, but still had a good time. All righty. Now let's get into this main event, which was the second phase of the CMLL Amazonas Universal Championship. So this person is going to go up and face up against India this Friday. And in phase 2, listen, all these girls are about to fight a bitch. And that's exactly what happened, because these are let's fight a bitch. Because in this match, we have Maricela, La Jarochita, Skadi, Zuxis, Sanelli, and Tabitha. And I was just like, oh my God. I was just like, these are some powerful and big girls. The match, I really thought it was a lot of fun. Again, this is more so for me because I'm slightly unfamiliar with Tabitha and Maricela. Love them though because they were fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie, I thought Zuxis and Scotty knocked some bitches out. Yeah. I was just like, oh, so remind me not to get on their bad sides. Spoiler alert. Shout out to the big girl because Scotty ends up picking up the victory here by last eliminating Zuxis. I was like, those two went back and forth for a little bit. And so Scotty has punched her ticket into the grand finale this Friday against India. And I was just like, this is crazy. Ooh, okay. Agent Lo-Fi giving me the facts here. This is Marcela's first match since April 2024, and she wasn't back long before that as she had another injury in 23. So she's been out on injury.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. I had fun with this match. I was just like, it's girls are just fighting girls left and right, which I love to see. Beat a bitch up. I was like, that is what I dubbed this match. It was like phase 2, aka beat a bitch up.
Yep.
I was just like, step on me. What? No. But this was fun. I enjoyed last week because I think the characters that we had last week definitely all worked their styles. This was just straight up power. And I'm just like, damn. Ooh, more information on Marcella. I think she's 54. Don't quote me on that. 50s for sure. And I was just like, ooh,
Okay.
she's been out here this game forever. That's awesome. Because I love our elder statesmen. And we don't really see too much of them in the Amazonas division. Yeah. A legendary luchadora in her prime. Now I gotta go look up old footage because now I'm very curious. Anyways, Adolfo, I'll come to you first. Phase 2, Scotty wins. What do we think?
Yeah. All right. So whereas last week it felt like a very technical match, if you will, this was just a slobber knocker. Man, these Amazonas were just laying into each other. Oh man, La Jarochita, she did she introduced her boot to, I believe it was Sanelli's face, and it looked so vicious. I was just like, oh man. And I know like Papa also always says this that, whereas the men, it looks they look pretty. It looks like a dance, but the women, they just get down and dirty. This was down and dirty. Yeah, Zoxys and Scotty just laying people out. I thought Scotty broke Tabitha in half with that power bomb. Holy crap. She like left an indentation of Tabitha in that ring mat. It was crazy. Yeah, I actually enjoyed this week's Cybernetical more than last week's. I said this before we came on. I love Zooxies. I'm happy to see her back. I felt like this since she's come back, this is like the strongest showing that she's had. Having said that, I am so happy that Scotty won. I feel like Scotty winning she was the right one to win. You know, she's been putting in a lot of work, and she just looked so overjoyed at the end there, winning. So yeah, it was really good seeing Scotty win, and I'm excited to see next week Scotty versus Indy Sweet.
Oh, 100%. That's gonna be fun this Friday. Papa Oso, we come to you next. What did you think of our main event, phase 2?
I dubbed this one "Bitches Be Crazy" because bitches be crazy. I was like, damn. And I was like, hell yeah, Miss Scotty. I was like, get it, girl. And I thought it was very appropriate that it was Scotty and Zooxies at the end. I thought, how absolutely freaking appropriate is this? These two big girls going at it, legendary style. And I was just like, I was eating it up, spooning it. I was like, give me more, because damn. I've always said it. I've always said it from the very beginning since I've been here. These women hit hard.
Yeah.
Like harder than the men. They hit hard. And I'm not saying the men don't hit hard, but damn. I don't know what it is when the women do it. It just seems 1,000 times harder than when the men do it. It's just, I don't know. I freaking love it. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat.
I know. Agent Lo-Fi.
Yeah, it's like
one of the things you notice when you watch too much when Zooxies goes for the moonsault, she's
Yeah.
missing it and most likely losing shortly
Yep.
after.
Zuxies is losing. Damn it. She missed that moonsault.
But I feel like that goes with anything. Like, and there's a running joke in AEW with a certain Konosuke Takeshita, right? And this goes for any wrestler. We know that the Blue Thunder Bomb never wins a match.
The least exciting move in sports entertainment.
Anyways, this was such a fun main event. And yeah, like both like what you said, Adolfo, we're getting the finals this Friday. So let's take a look at that, shall we? Because this Friday, y'all, this is ladies' night. Oh, what a night. It is nothing but Amazonas action this Friday. And I'm hella excited because not only do we get our CMLL Amazonas, but we get a lot of the international girls who are in the Grand Prix coming in. And we have a certain Miss Monet coming down here too. But before we get on to that, let's preview everything that we are getting this Friday. So in the Amazonas special leading into the Grand Prix, we are kicking things off with the tag team match, which is Tabitha and Nexi versus Candela and Valkyria, which makes me super excited. Then in a Relampago match, we are getting Kira versus Sanelli. So that's going to be fun. In a Mexico versus Japan trios match, representing Mexico is Marcela Princesa Sujuit and La Magnifica taking on, I'm so excited for this, taking on the two Stardom girls in Hazuki and Koguma, as well as Rev Pros, one of my personal favorite, Kanji. I'm so excited. This is going to be so damn good. Then in our double main event is semi-main eventing, which is, which is probably going to semi-main event for the CMLL Women's World Championship. Persephone is challenging Miss AEW's Mercedes Moné for the title. And then we are also getting the grand finale of the CMLL Amazonas Universal Championship, India versus Skadi. I'm just like, oh Lord. I'm really excited I'm excited for all of these. Like, this is going to be good. I also, this is going to be a lot of fun. But I also forgot, because in my excitement, we're also getting another trios match after the Mexico versus Japan match, which is La Catalina, Lluvia, and La Jarochita taking on Zuxis, Reina Isis, and Olympia. Agent Lo-Fi coming in with his thoughts. I still think Persephone and Monet should main. It still might. CMLL hasn't been real clear on that. Honestly, this picture doesn't tell me either. We know that the top two, that the Universal Championship and the CMLL Women's title is probably going to be the two that close the show. But yeah, I'm very interested. And not because I'm an AEW fan, but watching Mercedes and Persephone go at it is kind of great. I mean, this is now a one-on-one situation. I love their encounter at Forbidden Door earlier this year when it was that fatal four-way between those two, Alex Winza and Stardom's Bozilla. But now it's a one-on-one, so I'm excited. That's also true. You'd be sending in India out to die after that match.
That fair.
Like it or not, people would dip for sure, which is very true. Which is very, very true. Which I have an inside source kind of related of that's exactly what happened at Bound for Glory after the Hardys match. I was just like, oops. Which we'll tune into Friday for that review, because I was like, finally it happened. But that's it for CMLL. I don't have no noticias this week. The only thing I have to say is that while the women are holding down the fort here in Mexico, the boys are going over to the UK for Fantastica Mania UK. Still no idea whether they're going to air those shows or if it's just a tour. But us CMLL boys will keep you informed, and we will go from there. But next week, we are covering the Amazonas episode of CMLL. So I'm excited for next Wednesday. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up for us here. But we're not quite done with the week. We got some things that are still happening this week. So let's take a quick look at all of those, right? So we are halfway through the week. We are 4 reviews down, and we got 3 more to go. So tomorrow evening, I will be here at 7:30 p.m. Pacific to do a really quick review of WWE Evolve Secession. So I'm going to be reviewing the show. We're getting a bull rope match. We're getting 2 championship matches and some other things. So I'm excited. It should be fun. Friday, I'm looking forward to the most, though, because this is our TNA Bound for Glory, and there were lots of mixed feelings from the TNA crew because we like some stuff. We have questions. One of us may or may not have accidentally almost broke their television throwing things at it. So if you want to find out who, you should totally tune in Friday. And then we wrap things up on Sunday. The WWE crew will be here to review Raw and SmackDown. And we're kind of running down to the end of the year. We are, and counting, y'all, regardless if you like the Fed or not. It's crazy that in this lifetime, in about 9 weeks, we will see John Cena finally retire. So that is crazy. Never in my wildest dreams. And I think that sentence would be said in my lifetime. So, yeah, so stay tuned for all of that. But we got to get up on it out of here because the 3 of us are going to talk copious amounts of shit. I'm just kidding. We're going to talk afterwards because we haven't seen each other all week and we're going to catch up really quickly. But thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Los Lobos de la Lucha. We will be back next Wednesday to cover the Amazonas Viernes Espectacular Especial. And that one's going to be a lot of fun. But until then, from all of us here at BC WrestlePod, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will catch you for the remaining reviews this week. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.
Me tiene loco en la cabeza cuando me tocas. Siento que todo está bien, pero en verdad yo no sé si tú lo sientes.